What's up guys, welcome to Freedive Passion. Today Gus, Brian, Andreas and I are going to discuss the realization which has helped us most in our freediving. When I first began my training in freediving, it was in Dahab. And each time I was going out, I was getting a new PB. I was quite a natural, there was nothing slowing me down. So my progression in depth happened quite quickly. And there was basically no repetitions of depths. Each time I would go out, I would go a little bit deeper, a little bit deeper, and a little bit deeper. And what I found is at the deeper dive just literally meant it was going to feel a bit worse and be a bit harder. Like each deeper dive got tougher and tougher than the previous depth. So like a 30-meter dive was easier than a 40-meter dive, and a 45-meter dive was harder than a 40-meter dive. And this is kind of in my head, and logically that makes sense. Like the deeper you go, the harder the dive should feel. But since then I left Dahab and I went to Thailand, and in Thailand you're very limited on depth. So I could only dive to 35 meters, but I would do a lot of dives to 35 meters. And what this did is developed my relaxation to the point where how 35 meters used to feel back in Dahab now was completely relaxed. So a 35-meter dive while I was in Thailand felt the same as maybe a 15-meter dive when I was in Dahab. This taught me that the depth isn't actually so important. How deep you go doesn't necessarily dictate how the dive is going to feel. And if you can put yourself in the right state of mind and train in an intelligent way, there's no reason that a deeper dive has to feel any harder than a shallower dive, even if the deeper dive is a new PB. And what I found since this training in Thailand and setting up this kind of like baseline of relaxation is as I've progressed in my depth and got deeper and deeper and new PBs again, I've been able to maintain this level of relaxation, and I have a marker, a base to know if my dives aren't feeling as good as what they should do. So I would say the most important realization that I've had is that deeper doesn't mean harder.
Yeah, I would say that is that immersion is a possibility, and it dates back to when I was a child. It's like a discovery, and I think not only for me but for many others this is maybe the root of the intrigue, of the interest, of the passion. This contrast that is produced through immersion, particularly when you think of what is usually swimming. Swimming is often not discovered like intuitively, but it's taught technically. And when we look at this contrast of the technical swimming that we learned in a more or less overwhelming context to then an immersion, this is awesome.
Do you mean
so
immersion?
So the realization then would be, okay, underwater there's no need for technique, no need for intention, for purpose, and it's a place where I can explore and also feel myself. And this is, I think you feel it already. You don't have to do a freediving training, a freediving course. You don't have to have a mask for this. You just have a pool and discover immersion as a possibility, as an option.
Everyone can be a teacher. Yes, I think. Yes, everyone can be a teacher. One man once signed a book, Federico Mann, has signed a book for me about the breathing, and he wrote that the sea be a teacher. And I learned a lot from the sea, also from my students and from my parents, from my family, my partner. So yeah, this is the biggest enlightening. Yes, I'm learning all the time. Learning something about myself.
The biggest change for me, and the biggest change that was for my own personal freediving, has been the lung stretching and the diaphragm stretching. Those two combined really started to give me the confidence and started to extend my times underwater, my static times, my dynamic times, and to me it was the biggest difference in all of my training.
That's it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope everybody gets to spend some time in the water this summer. And until next time, take it easy and dive safe.